Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be reacting to Necrit teaching me about Briar, her story and everything. I was going to react to her voice lines today, but then I was like, I don't really know much about her story. So I looked up, Briar information and he popped up and I really like reacting to his videos. So let's see what I don't know about her. I don't really know a lot. I know she was imprisoned. I don't know why she's like this or why she was imprisoned though. So yeah, let's go. I don't know if I need the subtitles or not. Let's just do subtitles. But yeah, after this video, I'll react to her voice lines. I think I'll understand her a little bit more if I learn about her backstory.
There it is.
Oh, and if you wanna watch his video, I'll leave the link down below. So go check it out.
Another few months went by and League of Legends got a new story we can talk about. And surprisingly, despite the turmoil all the leagues stirred, and despite the fact that many people had many different expectations when it comes to her character, overall,
I think
have
she
to
looks
say,
amazing.
Her story is pretty
I
good.
love her
As
eyes.
you'll see, it is very simple and very easy to understand. And that's good. I'm pretty sure
Yes.
this is not supposed to be a complex character. What I like about this is that, as you'll see, all the teasers and cinematics are part of her story. However, there will also be some mentions of historical events, so just for the sake of context, for those of you who don't know much about League's lore, here is a super TLDR version of all you need to know.
Okay.
All of this is happening in Noxus, which is an empire that is all about conquering everything around them.
I know that.
For many years, Noxus was ruled by a tyrant called Borem Darkwill, who was secretly manipulated by LeBlanc, one of the leaders of the Black Rose.
Yeah.
With the Black Rose basically being a secret organization that is dealing with dark magic. With her whispers in his ear, Darkwill started making mad decisions. You know, invading surrounding nations, kidnapping children, dealing with black magic, all that sort of things. And of course, he also started the invasion of Ionia. During those events, he essentially sent Swain to the front lines to die, because he was strong enough to threaten his authority. So when he returned from Ionia, he killed Darkwill, he took over Noxus and established new leadership. All of this will be referenced in Briar's story. And in fact, it begins while Darkwill is still the leader of Noxus. So now, without further ado, let's jump into Briar's story.
Okay.
And let's read it word for word, because it's honestly not that long. So, here we go. Grand General Borem Darkwill entrusted the Black Rose and its many Hemomancer with creating a new kind of living weapon. Unlike their previous
She was created.
this would be a being born from and fueled by blood, one driven to hunt down targets without requiring the sustenance of food and water. And so, Briar was born. Her creators wanted an assassin, but all she wanted was to eat, eat, and eat. When her first mission ended in a frenzied, gory failure, the Black Rose decided that Briar was too dangerous to use, but too powerful to be destroyed. In order to control her, they devised a special pillory, locked by a Hemelith gemstone, to restrain her and focus her mind. Once shackled with the pillory, Briar, along with the rest of the Black Rose's living weapons, was quickly deployed during Jericho Swain's coup against Darkwill. She was given a handler to direct her, but when released from her pillory, Briar immediately devoured him and everyone near her. Everyone but her target, Swain, who escaped while the living weapon fed upon friend and foe. After an arduous capture, Swain's guards managed to trigger Briar's pillory and restore her restraint, enabling them to transfer her to their holding facility. Alone in her cell, Briar could focus on nothing except her hunger. Though she couldn't die from starvation, the absence of blood weakened her day by day. At first, she thought the chorus of crazied wails echoing throughout her room were her own starving thoughts, until she realized the sounds were drifting from unseen neighbors. Did Swain's forces manage to capture other living weapons during the coup? Was she locked up with them now, each having failed their mission, their purpose? The voices cried out for blood, a sentiment Briar could relate to. But what she couldn't understand wasn't how often they did it, nor how loud they were, but it was all they talked about. Their unrelenting hemomania was the most boring thing she had ever experienced. As hungry as Briar was, and she was hungry, Her thoughts stayed focused on the pitiful sound of others. What if she managed to break out of the pillory? Would her frenzy make her even more unhinged than her neighbors? Would she become as single-minded and boring as them? The idea was too horrifying to dwell on, so she instead resigned herself to listless solitude. Years passed, and the time alone allowed Briar to reflect on herself and consider the possibilities of the world outside her cell. Entertainment consisted of eavesdropping on the guards' conversations, devising new ways to pester them from raw meat, and agonizing over whether she should raise her pet spiders or eat them. By chance, while she was toying with her pillory one day, she inadvertently loosened the hemolith, which settled into a position just short of unlocking the restraint. Briar froze as thoughts of her hemomaniacal neighbors filled her head. Is that what she had become? But then she realized something. Being under control was just as dangerous as being out of control. She wanted to strike the balance. Having discovered the hemolith's mechanism, Briar devised a plan. By this point, the guards were so used to her calls for attention that when she learned one of them close to her cell, nobody noticed he was missing until it was too late. The guard's blood surged within her, lighting a fire that had been waiting to spread. Now the living weapon gleefully roams the streets of Noxus, pillory locked back in place, until she wants to unlock it. As she acclimates to the world outside, with the Black Rose monitoring an unexpected development, Briar eagerly learns all she can, making new friends and discoveries in a world she is starving to experience.
Interesting, okay.
And there you have it, Briar's lore. Honestly, it is pretty simple.
Yeah.
The past few stories that we've been getting. I assume this is a result of Riot restructuring everything they are doing, and they really need to start planning things ahead. But since they are not really moving forward yet, unless they are actually planning things for their other games, it wouldn't make too much sense for them to start massively expanding the story without anything to pay it off.
I mean,
So
I
this
think
kind of simple
the story's simple, but it could be added on to be very complex. I mean, I want to know what happens next. Like, what friends does she make? Who does she meet along the way? That kind of stuff.
story is totally
It's
fine.
very
Now,
interesting.
as I mentioned at the beginning, as you saw, all the teasers and the cinematics were part of her lore. The teasers showed what she was doing in Swain's prison, which was essentially just walking around. Then it shows her escape through the guard, and then the cinematic shows us how she got outside.
Which was
And
adorable.
honestly, I really appreciate how well all of this is linked together. It is not just random pieces that come from all over the place. Now, with that said, we do have to mention the splash art. You see, if the splash art is based on lore, it would have to be part of her first mission. As you now know, she was only ever sent on 2 missions. And in the second one, it was a Noxian civil war. But since you can see both Noxians and Demacians here, there is simply no other option. But here's the catch. She already has the pillory on her, which she only got after her first mission.
Yeah.
Which means that this scene is just totally made up. It looks cool, but no one has any idea what is going on there. Now, I saw
Okay.
that some people noticed that the runes on her pillory are similar to the runes on Riven's blade, which would absolutely make sense because, remember, both of these were made by the Black Rose. And lastly, during her story, it was also mentioned that there were other living weapons in the prison with her. She heard their voices constantly, and one of them was constantly shouting and calling for blood. Well, we also know about one other construct who is also
Okay.
heavily related to blood. So unless Riot is
Who?
teasing someone else, it is highly likely Scion, who was there
Scion.
in the prison with her and who annoyed her the entire time she was there. And this theory is further reinforced by the fact that Briar actually has voice lines with him. And she even
Okay.
mentions how sad she is that he also escaped.
Oh, Scion! You escaped too? And you're here with me.
Meaning that Scion
I am so glad I'm reacting to this first instead of her voice lines. I didn't have a clue who, why she was saying that.
also had to be in prison with her. This is interesting because this would suggest that in the present days, Sion was captured by Swain's forces. He is not hidden somewhere beneath the Immortal Bastion by the Black Rose. Swain knows about him, and it is possible that he has him locked up. This is a seemingly random thing to be mentioned in her story, so I wonder if Riot is planning something with it. Though at the pace that League's lore is currently going, maybe it is a plan 10 years into the future for the MMO. But
That'd be
that's
cool.
really all I wanted to mention. Overall, Briar's story is really cool. It is nothing crazy, but also nothing to confuse people. It even has some nice cameos from other champions. And even though Vladimir wasn't directly included here, don't worry, she does have a voice line with him.
So, you want me to call you Vlad or Dad?
What? What? Okay. Good. Thank you, Necrit. Alright, so I'm glad I reacted to this first before the voice lines, so now I got a little idea of why she's saying what she's saying. So yeah, awesome. Alright guys, so that was my reaction to Necrit teaching me about Briar. I like the character. I think she's not simple. I think she has a complex story, but it's not told yet. I'd like to know more about what happens next with her. I could see them making an RPG about her. That'd be cool. But let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And if you're new, please like, subscribe, and the bell for notification. Thank you all so much for watching. You have a good day or night. Bye-bye.